How can we flip the script on the failures that we experience? How can we turn a loss into a win? How can we have the right mindset and approach, the right response? And the big part of it is thinking big picture and taking your eyes off of yourself, right? We're not here to serve our own self-interest and loathe in our own successes and good things that we've done. Those are futile wins. Well, not even wins, they're just futile, they're empty, they're hollow. There's a shell of who we could be and what we could do. Right, and some of the hardest times you will go through in your life will become the biggest breakthroughs for other people if you're willing to stick it out and learn from it. What do I mean? Look at Joseph in the Old Testament. Right, you could look at something being a bad thing. It was really bad when him being sold into slavery by his own brothers. And that's tough. And then he found favor in his master's eyes. And then some things happened with the master's wife, which Joseph did not commit. And then Joseph was thrown in jail. Now, if we're Joseph, if we're being completely honest, we look at that and we go, what the heck, that's unfair. Why have we been thrown in jail? Why have we been sold into slavery? Why have we been done wrong? This failure, this loss, how are we going to flip that? Well, you see, Joseph, he knew the Lord was with him and he had the right perspective. And so he stayed ready and he kept doing his calling and what he was gifted, which was seeing dreams, seeing visions and interpreting them. And him being diligent in doing that while in prison helped him see favor in the eyes of the Pharaoh, or the king of Egypt at the time, and it led to him being set free and then helping Egypt navigate this period of famine that was to come. That all came from these hard, tumultuous times of Joseph being sold into slavery, betrayed by his own brothers, and then thrown into jail for a lie that his master's wife told him. Think of Moses, right? Struck down an Egyptian to try and prove to his own people that he was on their side, and they thought he was full of it and they didn't want to know. Then he fled into the wilderness. Another 40 years pass, and then God calls him, and then he moves. Right, he had to face this rejection, this isolation, this loneliness, this self-doubt, before he could even think about being called upon by God to lead his people. What do Moses and Joseph have in common? They both had the right perspective when they struggled. Joseph kept going. Moses, sure, he fled, but when God called him again, he answered the call. Every challenge you have, God's making a calling for you. Are you going to answer and do? Are you going to be obedient? Are you going to be diligent? Are you going to have the right mindset and response? Because you think about Joseph and Moses, if they didn't respond the right way, Egypt does not navigate that famine. And the surrounding territories, they're all stuffed as well. If Moses does not respond and trust God to lead the people out of Egypt and part the Red Sea, they do not get to the promised land flowing with milk and honey. They do not get there. They stay in slavery. They stay in oppression. If Moses and Joseph failed to take their eyes off of themselves and think about other people and God's calling and purpose, people don't get impacted positively. That never happens. If Joseph minds his own business and Moses minds his own business, people aren't saved. People don't know the grace and the love of God. And they only refined their character, and those blessings only came after the tribulations they'd been through and the struggles that they were willing to endure. With the right perspective on your struggle and failure, you could be a Joseph, you could be a Moses. I don't know what God's calling you to do, but only God knows. And are you willing to trust that and stand on that? Take your eyes off of yourself for the possibility of knowing that, hey, something that's hard and a downfall for me can be the equal or greater opportunity and upside for other people if I'm willing to endure it and take my eyes off of me. God bless you.